Hello, Westland. Welcome to the City of Westland Community Engagement Department's 2026 Black History Month series here on WLND Municipal TV. I am C. Pascal Eze, Community Engagement Director, and here with me are three remarkable guests. Pastor Jean Velma Overman is the founder of nonprofit Operation Refuge, based in Inkster, and she is also the first vice president of Western Wing in ACP. I also have with me Malinda Christian, who is the manager of a branch of Zeal Credit Union right here on Ford Road in Westland. And we have, of course, Anthony Mottley, who has won Emmy Awards. He is a known producer and a strong community advocate. Welcome, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Let me start with you, Pastor Overman. Why is it essential to recognize the contributions of African Americans, especially during Black History Month?
Oh my, Pascal, thank you again for the invitation, and I feel so honored to sit with our guests. I think when we think about Black History Month and our contributions, we have to think about American history and understanding that the very fabric of everything in our country, whether you talk our democracy, our industry, our technological advances, you're talking our history, right? So I'm very thankful to understand how important we are as a culture and as a community and what we've brought to the United States of America. So whether we think about the month of February or we think from January through December, the impact is there.
I'm glad you added that, because sometimes we think we should confine it to Black History Month, which is just 28 or 29 days in the month of February. It is a year-long experience. What we contribute is year-long, and it's been that way throughout history. Let me come to you, Malinda.
Thank you.
Can you address that issue? Should we recognize Black history contribution, Black history
Yes,
contributions?
well, thanks for asking that important question. I think addressing the Black History Month is very essential. I think this contribution, it contributes to our culture, our innovation, and our progress as we go along. It's very important because Black History Month tells our story. It tells the story of where we were and where we are headed today. Then also it sets the pace for the younger generation to be on track with making things seem not impossible, possible. So I think Black History Month is not just for the month of February, it's all year long.
Yes. Now, Tony, let me come to you. Mm-hmm. The nature of your work has put you in touch with many accomplished Black individuals from across this country. How would you assess Black leadership? What are the characteristics that would make you respect a person and describe them as a Black leader?
Wow, that's
good question.
It's a good question. I think what we've assumed culture-wide as so-called Black leadership is probably not accurate in my estimation. And I tend to focus as an amateur historian on the contributions of not only people like Du Bois and Douglass and the people that helped Blacks get freedom, but the everyday people who resisted and who fought, who marched, who sacrificed, who walked in Montgomery and did take the bus for a year, who stood up in the face of tremendous violence and terrorism. And I think that those people are leaders and have made a difference. And because what's happened is Dr. King has become an icon and has been used by people of all stripes to make whatever point they want to make, whether it's truthful or not. And so people know about I Have a Dream, but they don't know that John Kennedy met with Black leaders before the I Have a Dream speech and begged them to temper it down and co-opted that process. And so They don't know. Dr. King was dangerous when he realized the plight of all people, poor people, impoverished people, and tried to create that movement. And that's what was dangerous about his leadership. And it's not just a speech. So we get it wrong. We got to compartmentalize and commodify things. And that's not effective.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I reckon you've interviewed many Black leaders over the years. Who was the most intriguing amongst them? All the people you've interacted with, you've interviewed, you've walked
Very
with.
good question.
Who made the best impression on you as remarkable, as making a difference, as uplifting people in the community?
You know, I think for me, it becomes personal. When you meet these people, it becomes personal. And even though I disagree with him politically on a lot of issues, I thought Dr. Cornel West had made the biggest impact on me. We picked him up from the airport. We drove him to the studio. He did the interview on Black Journal, and he had to go to the Shrine of the Black Madonna, and he was running late. And we got there, and a news crew from a cable television station was waiting for him. And the woman from the shrine who was hosting the book signing event put her arm out and said, no, he doesn't have time. And Cornel West, when the lady walked away, he grabbed the young man and said, brother, we got time. And I thought, wow, because,
I like that.
you could use your power to just big time folks. I'm too busy. I'm above that. And the fact that he could find his humanity and understand his empathy to say, this guy's got a job to do. I made a promise to them we were going to do this. And I'm going to hold that commitment no matter what this woman says, what the woman with the power says. I respect that.
Wow.
His attack on Obama, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think as you mature, I won't say age, but as you mature in life, you realize you can't just pick winners and losers. There's something good in everybody.
Right.
You got to
love it.
find it. You got to work to find it. So
Open to see.
Booker T. Washington was really
Exactly.
wrong, but his idea of Black folks being industrious, that was right.
That part.
Okay. But now that's all we should do? No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
I agree with that.
It's complicated.
Pastor Overman, I come back to you. You are closely associated with two reputable organizations. One is so historic. The NAACP towers so greatly as far as American history is concerned. And of course, you founded and you run Operation Refuge, which has a lot to do with addressing resource poverty in our communities. Can you, in a nutshell, share with our audience how your association with these two institutions has resulted in better living conditions, better dignity, better opportunities for people in the Black community?
Oh, wow. That's a very good question. I think when I think about my role in the NAACP, whether I think about Western Wayne County and the 24 municipalities that we serve and the 720,000 residents, or if I think about the state level NAACP where I serve as Chair for Religious Affairs, I think about justice, I think about equity, I think about the lens that the NAACP is known throughout time to support, whether we talk about our civil rights or just bringing justice to the climate, right? And how we're treated and how we understand one another and what our agenda as people of color are and how we lead in that and make sure that we stay consistent with our mandate and with the charge for our people. I think with Operation Refuge, I'm in the city of Inkster where I started. I'm actually a Ford retiree after 30 years, but in 2008, we all know what happened in our communities, right? So we began thinking, how do we address poverty in the city of Inkster and our surrounding communities? It was horrible in 2008 for people that looked like me. So we started with just food, right? The food insecurity. We now have a client choice food pantry that serves hundreds of families weekly. And we have major partners across the state that we're very thankful for, and we're able to supply food in a way of dignity because it is client choice. But understanding that eating is one thing, How do we educate? So we began with our STEM programming, and I'm very proud that this time last year, we took a group of young people to the United Nations for the first time. Our students were recognized. They were on the UN floor. The work they did is now known nationally and internationally because it's in Japan. One of our students currently is in Vietnam with semester at sea, where she is learning at a global view, right? It's not just America, not just the way it is in Wayne County, and certainly not the way it is in Inkster, which is 5 square miles. So bringing those pieces together, I find strength in doing that, especially being a Black female and a senior. I am very thankful that the legacy carriers trusted us to go and to do and to empower. So bringing, whether it's food, whether it's education, supporting with STEM, science, tech, engineering, arts, and math, in a community where the governor at that time dissolved the entire school district and tore the buildings down, I said, that's okay, we got it.
Right.
So we now have an empowerment level where the partners like Bosch and Velma are right there in the city of Inkster, ensuring, along with Schoolcraft College and others, that our children have access, right? Saying things and allowing me to be in the room is totally different. Our young people are in the room, and I'm very intentional with global exposure, right? We were fine in Michigan and fine in Inkster, but it's a whole different world when you go to the UN and you find that there are young people around the world making impact and difference. So I love it. I love it with the support of the NAACP to be at a statewide stage and serving at board, as a board of director, whether it's for the governor, I'm on Laura's board. So when you're in these spaces, you have an opportunity to see things that you don't see when you're in an echo chamber, like your neighborhood. So
one of the aims of this series is to bring to the fore, to celebrate accomplished Black individuals like you. So probably I should end the show right now because you've really nailed it. No, I gotta continue.
No, absolutely not.
I gotta continue with the remaining questions that we have. Malinda, you run a nonprofit bank. Yesterday I was with Sastry at an event, and he was explaining the community engagement activities that the bank does and the interventions, the assistance that you give. Can you talk a little about how one can leverage one's position in corporate institution, in corporate America, or in nonprofit organizations to bring attention and succor to challenges that we face, not only in the Black community, but in the broader community? How has your journey been in this regard?
Okay. You know what, that is an excellent question. As a branch manager, I can honestly say with Zeal Credit Union, they are so focused on the community. And for myself personally, that I have a passion, so I'm bringing that to the company. And as a branch manager, we focus on the well-being of the members. When they come in there, we want to make sure that we supply them with their financial needs, their well-being, whether we can help them in any category that they need, as far as buying a new house, education, their first house, first home. All of those things are important. So as a manager, I have been in this industry for over 25 years. It's something that you see when members come in. It's all about asking great open-ended questions so we can expand the need that they're looking for and do a strong follow-up. And with Zeal, this is what they do. They bring managers in, managers that focus on the community, because that's one of their pillars, is to make sure that we touch the community, make sure they understand that they are open, we have compassion, we have drive, we're willing to go way and beyond the call of duty to service them as members as well as the surrounding community.
And I think it's remarkable that Zeal credit union in Westland has an African American manager and an
Yes.
African American assistant manager.
Yes.
I think Angie is your the
Yes.
assistant manager, right?
Yes.
Now, for purposes of full disclosure, I am a member. I have accounts with your organization, and I enjoy the services that I'm getting. I want to come back to you, Pastor Overman. Is there something that you think that is misunderstood about the Black experience that you think people need to know? Is there something that strikes you as grossly misunderstood about the journey we've undertaken all these years and where we are at the moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
I think the fact that we minimize it to slavery, number one, right? I think the entire conversation around our history is narrowed, right? And it's all about what happened after the Middle Passage. And we were a people long before and afterwards, right? We're a strong people that have contributed to everything in the building of this entire country and to our day-to-day, whether you talk about the building of the democracy, the way we see it, if you talk about what we've done as far as technological, all of the advancements in education. I mean, most of our systems, we've done it, we've been there, we created. And if you look at the history of the planet, you see, I mean, we're still trying to figure out how they did what they did with mummies, right? We're still trying to figure out the pyramids. There's so many things that as an African diaspora and who we were as a people, and I love the fact that Tony said he's a partial historian.
Yes.
I love the idea that we owe it to ourselves to understand our past and to make sure that we implement the successes or the best practices into our future and into our young people and into our families and communities, and just the conversations like we're having today or the ones we had prior to walking into this space, where as sisters we can share things that
Yes.
build and strengthen one another, right? So the one thing I would say that if we could do a course correction, let's look at the entire picture.
Not
Right.
just
The parts that we can gander.
single
We don't have
lens.
it all, but what we have, let's not just limit it to the part that makes us angry, right? But who am I as a person in community? Who am I in the development of the city of Westland? What did the NAACP do? How do we empower one another so that when we think about our best lives, we operate out of a place of love and patience and understanding one another? And as our brother alluded to earlier, that each and every one of us has Malcolm, but we also have Mother Mary, right?
Yes.
And we come with those, the heart of God, where I get to be his eyes and his heart, his listening ears when you speak. Those things are what I think is such a great part of our history. Whether I talk about my dear or my big mama, I can always go back to a place of warmth, of love, some good greens,
And cornbread.
right, some hot cornbread. But also my grandmother telling me that it's so important to go to Wayne State and to study and to learn, right? To not be afraid to be a chemist, right? So those things I think is so important that we include in the story of who we are, not just the struggle.
So you're talking about our multi-dimensional
Absolutely.
identity and experience. It's not good to be half-baked. It's not good to
That's
just
right.
take one aspect, just a lens. Just look at us through a monist lens when we are expressed and active and
Multifaceted,
accomplished
right?
in so many areas.
Absolutely.
And so we need to paint a complete, a total, a comprehensive picture of the Black experience that includes all these aspects without excluding any one of them. Let me come to you, Malinda. We are almost rounding up. How do you think we can improve on our relationship amongst ourselves and our relationship outside our own community? Because sometimes
Good question.
our understanding and interpretation, our background, our experience tends to get in the way of us building a close relationship within our own community, helping to lift each other up, because you got to start from there, while also not neglecting your responsibility to the wider community. Are there gaps that you think need to be filled? Are there potholes that you think need to be filled? How do you see our relationship amongst ourselves and our relationship with people outside our community?
Our relationship among ourselves, I feel that first, that we should understand who we are and where we come from. And just to know that possibilities are the limit. We don't have roadblocks. We make our own roadblocks. Right. But as far as the Black community, if we really focus on reaching out, helping one another, no matter where you are, through communication, through different channels that we have available to us, that will bring a strong community. And not only that, but if I'm in a position, it's up to me, I really feel, let me reach out to my sister or my brother to let them know what's going on or how I can help them cross that obstacle that they're facing. So as a leader of Zeal Credit Union, it's important that I open up the door for other sisters and brothers that come in. I just don't shut myself out. I'm here ready to grow and help the community, help myself, but I must connect with the community and let them know I'm here, I'm always here, and I'm willing to take that next step to make it happen for you and the surrounding community.
Thank you so much. Let me come to you, Tony. I know you're a great father. I recall years ago when you brought your son to volunteer at an organization that I was involved in, and you were so proud of what he did. He raised money for the poor and all that. I want you to, using that as backdrop, to talk about what lessons we can share with the younger generation and how we can help them embrace the realities of our experience and go from there to the future of equity and opportunity that we all envisage for them. Talk about your experience as a father and what young people need to learn from us, the influence we need to have on them for good.
Great questions. I think you approach it, your number one responsibility as a husband and father is to protect her and to set an example. I think you can say all the wonderful things you want to say, but kids watch you.
Oh, absolutely.
And my son would say, I have an interaction with someone at a grocery store. You didn't like him. They know. And so they're always watching. So be aware that young people are watching us. So set a good example. And the other thing I think with young people is kind of a sweet spot of people that I mentor is that they need to learn about themselves, the power that they have, their power to make change in their own lives, that they are. I teach people now that you're always choosing, whether you think you are or not. And it's false and kind of crazy to say, to do something and just hand it off to some other reason why you did it. She made me, she asked me.
That's a great approach.
You could have said no. You could have made another choice. So we're always choosing. And then to work together and support each other. As Black folks, we can look at all of the imperfections and disappointments we have had. But from a broader perspective, that you're my auntie, you're my neighbor, you gave me some greens, you gave me coffee, you helped me, you cut my lawn. And I know my own personal experience, I've had people when I got injured and someone coming and cut my lawn or shoveled my snow. So we have over the years, the centuries, helped each other.
Right.
Yes.
And we forget. My mother was a public health nurse. And so there were days where she'd say, boys, my brother and I, we're going to have a family stay with us for 10 days. They're going to sleep in your room. We're like, wait, we sleeping on the floor? What is going on? But I realized my mother, she said she wasn't going to let folks, whether Focus Hope or whoever couldn't take them in, didn't matter. they got a roof, I have a roof, they have a roof.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay here.
That's our legacy, though.
Give those
Yeah.
genes, give those
That's
to
right.
those boys.
That's right.
And you
Remember
learn,
that.
you know,
Remember it.
we have, and I believe this, we have more than we need and more than we think we have.
Awesome.
You know,
with you.
and so realize that, you know, we're always looking outside at other field folks and what the neighbors doing and all that, but we have what we need. If we just pull ourselves together, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Can I piggyback on that?
Yeah,
That
please
is
do, please go
good.
ahead.
That was so remarkable, and the reason is I think the younger generation don't understand what we have left. Their parents have left them. That little niche to understand the milestone that their parents have walked and have given back to them. You know, someone's out there hungry. You didn't know them, but your mother had that gut feeling she's going to help them.
Yes.
I think that is so remarkable, and I think that is the Black experience. Never forget where you come from, but empower others to do better and make the impossible possible for them to achieve.
Right.
Yes.
I think that the limitation people have, young people would say, well, that it's not 1965 or it's not then. It's
Yes,
not.
I
And it's
hear that
not.
all the time.
It's not. But you have to do it in a way that reflects the lessons of the past in this time.
Yes.
Right.
So it might not be food.
That's good.
It might be internet. It might be that
Right.
laptop that you had from 2 years ago that you don't think is any good, but that
Yes.
other kid that, you know, may not have a home or may be between homes doesn't have.
Yes.
And give it to them.
Yes.
You know,
and,
so-
and to add to it, the fact that you can bring in, you don't need a payday loan.
Yeah.
Let me help you understand economic stability.
Yeah.
Right, the big pictures. I love that, and thank you for lifting that because that was such a big part of how we learned to be human.
Right.
Was how we were able to share a bedroom.
Exactly.
That is
Yeah.
true.
We share what we had. And it's
was
like I
so
said,
good.
we have more than what we think we do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
and
that's-
then
that's
when you have
empowering.
women,
We have choices. Right? Like I had like 2 coats or 4.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a coat when I was a kid.
Right.
yeah,
You had shoes.
Yeah.
Not a closet of shoes.
yeah. And then when you have people in my position, financial position,
Yes.
it's important to take the time to sit down
Yes.
to educate our people on the pluses and minuses, the debits and credits,
Financial
or how
literacy
to
is
bring their
important.
credit back in
Yes.
balance,
It's
because
very
that's
important.
part of my job. And I get so much fulfillment, that smile, that hug when they walk out the door, saying, you know what, I represent a good institution that will make a difference in the community and the people that's come in to see me.
Yeah, that's
Is
it.
there anything else you'd like to add before we round up? I know we've had a wonderful conversation. Any closing remark?
I don't know, but thank you, Tony, for sharing because my view of Cornel West changed.
Well, I'm not trying to proselytize
No,
anybody.
but the reality is, I think you hit on a very important point that would bring value to all of our lives is to understand I may say something to the left, but at the same time, inside of me is something to the right that can change the way you look at things.
Well, I look at every experience
I
and
appreciate you sharing.
ultimately, what can we take away?
Yeah.
Because, it's so easy to
What
say,
do I
oh,
get to
I'm like
leave
her, she did this, she had on that, she didn't. Doesn't matter. What did you learn from it? What can you take away from it?
Yeah.
And if I can find something of value, then I'll take that and leave the rest.
Yeah,
Just let it
that's
go.
good. My mom says, eat the fish, leave the bones.
Right.
I like it. I like
There
it.
you go.
I can see we're all enjoying this conversation.
Yeah,
We
this
could
is
go
good.
on
This
and
is
on.
good.
But I think my producers will want me to draw it to a close. And I want to thank Pastor Jean Velma Overman, the founder and executive director of Operation Refuge. I want to thank Malinda Christian, who is the area manager branch manager for Zeal Credit Union that is right here in Westland. And Anthony Mottley, he's humble, but he's won Emmy Awards for
famous
his
person.
productions, and he's been in the system. He's a media veteran, and I'm glad that you all joined us today for this important conversation. Thank you, Westland, for joining us on this conversation. We're going to continue it because it's a 4-part series to mark the 2026 Black History Month. It's going to continue right here on WLND television. I'd like to thank all the production crew. I'd like to thank Mayor Kelvin Coleman for allowing us to do this. Until we'll come your way again next time on this series, stay engaged and keep nurturing compassion and dignity in our community. Bye for now.